Welcome to the Onmyoji Maven Beginner's Guide series. In this two-part guide, we'll explore the rune or emblem system of Onmyoji Arena known as the Onmyodo. Onmyodo is a rune or emblem system used in order to increase the stats of Shikigamis in the game. When used correctly, it gives players an advantage, especially in the early stages of the game due to the stats that they give. However, unlike other MOBAs where it takes a painstaking amount of time to level up runes or emblems, Onmyodo can be set up free of charge, thus providing fair competition at all levels. Players can freely pick the Onmyodo according to the type of gameplay which suits them the most. In this video, we're going to introduce the different Onmyodo stats and demonstrate the different Onmyodo talents to help you choose the best Onmyodo for your Shikigami. In part 2 of this guide, we'll also give Onmyodo suggestions for each Shikigami role. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started on part 1 of this video. We can find the Onmyodo section at the Prepare tab. There are 4 default and 10 personalized Onmyodo pages. Each Onmyodo page consists of 9 slots. For the purpose of explaining Onmyodos in this video, we'll call the first 6 slots as stats and the last 3 slots as talents. At level 12, all slots become available for use. The 4 default Onmyodos are Physical, Magic, Assist, and Tank. We cannot modify which stats or talents go into each slot. If you want to create your own Onmyodo for various Shikigamis, just choose an empty personalized Onmyodo page and fill the slots according to your liking. Let's check out what goes into each slot. Let's start with the various Onmyodo stats. The following Onmyodo stats can be chosen for the first and second slots. Physical Attack, which increases physical damage dealt by basic attacks by 6.3 points. Attack Speed, which increases the frequency of basic attacks by 7.5%. Critical Rate, which increases the chance that a basic attack critically strikes or deals twice its normal damage by 4.2%. Critical Damage, which increases the damage of critical strikes by 10%. Ability Power, which increases the bonus damage dealt by abilities. And Magic Penetration, which allows the magic damage done from abilities to ignore a target's magic resistance by 5.6 points. This is important for mages to impart more damage to enemies with high magic resistance. For the third and fourth slots, the following Onmyodo stats can be chosen. Cooldown, which reduces the cooldown of a Shikigami's ability by 5%, which helps you spam your skills more. Armor Penetration, which ignores the effectiveness of a target's armor by 4.2 points, which is important for ADCs like samurais, ninjas, or marksmen to impart more damage to enemies with high armor stats. Magic Penetration, which allows the magic damage done from abilities to ignore a target's magic resistance by 4 points. The last 3 stats are recommended for samurais, tanks, and supports for better survivability. Armor, which reduces the physical damage taken by 8.5 points. Magic Resist, which reduces the magic damage taken by 8 points. And HP, which increases the base health points by 48. And for the 5th and 6th slots, the following Onmyodo stats can be chosen. HP Steal, which is very important for marksmen to restore health on all basic attacks done to minions, jungle monsters, and enemy Shikigamis. Extract, which is for ability-based Shikigamis like ninjas and mages to convert a percentage of ability damage into HP. Movement Speed, which can be used by all types of Shikigamis to quickly travel across the map, which is useful when chasing or escaping. The 5th and 6th slots can also be filled with HP, Armor, and Magic Resist, and have higher points compared to the 3rd and 4th slots. For this set, the HP stat increases the base health points by 64. The Armor reduces the physical damage taken by 11 points. And the Magic Resist reduces magic damage taken by 10.5 points. Aside from these additional stats, 3 Onmyodo talents can also be chosen to aid your Shikigami during combat. For the top slot, which opens at account level 9, one of the following talents may be used. Feather Sigil. This increases ability power by 3.5 points and attack damage by 2.5 points after a kill or assist. This can stack up to 16 layers. For example, here we have Kyonchi Imoto. Let's take a quick look at her base stats. After one kill, her physical attack increased by 2.5 points, which is rounded up to 3, and her ability power increased by 3.5 points, which is rounded up to 4. After 16 kills, we have maximized the talent effect, and her physical attack has now increased by a total of 40 points, and her ability power has now increased by a total of 56 points. Umbrella Shield. This gives our Shikigamis 5% bonus armor and magic resist from items. For example, let's buy Kusa a defense item which gives plus 80 armor. Because of Umbrella Shield, we now have an additional 5% armor, and our total armor from the item is now 84. Clairvoyance. This increases the buff time gained from jungle monsters by 30%. The default buff lasts for around 1 minute and 20 seconds. However, with this talent, the buff time is increased to around 1 minute and 44 seconds. Fox Blaze. This increases HP by 25 after defeating or assisting to defeat a Shikigami. This can stack up to 16 layers. For example, here we have Satori. After one kill, we can see an additional 25 points of HP. And after 16 kills, we have maximized the talent and gave Satori a total of 400 additional HP. Star Coin. This gives a 10 to 15% coin bonus that grows over time after killing enemy minions. Coin bonuses max out at 600 coins. For example, we can see here that Chin gains an additional 4 coin from killing the enemy minion. Later in the game, the bonus coin amount increases to 8 and 16 coins. This can be very helpful in completing item builds faster, especially for ADCs like Chin. Lastly, for this set, we have the Witch's Prayer. This reduces spell ability cooldown by 15%. For example, without Witch's Prayer, Momiji's spell cooldown for Flash is 120 seconds. However, with Witch's Prayer, we have a 15% cooldown reduction for Flash, which gives only 102 seconds left before we can use the spell again. Next, let's discuss the set of talents which can fill the bottom slot of our Onmyodo page. The bottom slot becomes available at account level 9, and here are the following talents we can choose from. First, we have Ki. This increases MP recovery per second by 1 and restores 10 MP each time an enemy unit is killed. As an example, we can see here that Higanbana gained a small amount of MP after securing a kill. Since there are other items which can grant MP regen, this Onmyodo is not commonly used. Harass. When an enemy Shikigami's movement is successfully limited, the damage that all allied Shikigami deal is increased by 5%. For example, in this video, Chin's base physical attack is 111. After a successful knock-up by an ally Karasu Tengu equipped with the Harass Onmyodo, her physical attack temporarily increased to 116 points. This gives allies an advantage to help secure the kill. Soul Ward. This increases the heal and shield effects by 6%. When used on a target with less than 25% HP, the effect increases to 12%. This is useful to increase the heal and shield efficiency given by support Shikigamis like Kusa, Yamausagi, and Ichimaruken. Mortality. This increases damage by 5% on enemies with more than 70% HP. This is useful for initiator-type Shikigamis like samurais and tanks, as it increases the damage at the beginning of the battle. On the other hand, Shatter increases damage by 4% on enemies with less than 30% HP. This is helpful in increasing the damage to help secure the kill. Lastly, we have Shadow Hunt. When you step into the brush, the next basic attack carries a magic damage buff. This effect will remain for 5 seconds after leaving the brush, and has a cooldown of 10 seconds. For example, we can see here that Akura's basic attack dealt bonus magic damage as Shadow Hunt was activated. Lastly, these are the talents which can be used for the middle slot that becomes available at account level 12. Occult Panther Maul. This marks the enemy Shikigami after hitting the enemy with 2 different basic attacks or abilities. When the enemy is hit again, it summons a panther that pounces on the enemy, dealing magic damage. This has a cooldown of 18 seconds. As we can see here for Kinyo, hitting the enemy twice gives it a marker, and at the next attack, a panther briefly pounces, dealing magic damage. Occult Panther Eyes. When you deal damage equal to 20% of the enemy Shikigami's max HP within 3 seconds, you will acquire enemy vision and gain a movement speed buff when moving towards the target. This lasts for 5 seconds with a 12-second cooldown. As we can see here for Chin, giving Kyohime a mark briefly exposes the enemy's vision. Divination Sigil. Upon entering the battle, you will receive the Divination Sigil after 3 seconds. At your next basic attack on a Shikigami, you will inflict a heavy attack plus additional magic damage equal to 5% of your own HP. Note that this effect is halved for ranged Shikigamis and has a cooldown of 4 seconds. As we can see here for Shishio, engaging with Otengu gave him the blue mark or the sigil after 3 seconds. His next basic attack on Otengu gave bonus damage. Since the additional magic damage is based on the percentage of your own HP, this would be useful for Shikigamis building HP such as tanks or samurais. Sorcery Star. Abilities and basic attacks will increase damage by 0.75% for each layer. At the 10th layer, you will be granted the Spell Star status, which would give you an additional damage. As we can see here for Yoku, consecutive attacks gave him the star buff shown in his hands, which gave him an additional 10 damage. Because of the damage buff, this is a commonly used talent for many Shikigamis. Summon Purgatory. After using a damaging ability, Purgatory is opened underneath the first enemy hit, dealing damage per second for 3 seconds. This has a cooldown of 10 seconds. As we can see here for Yuki Onna, casting a skill on the target triggers Purgatory, which deals extra damage for 3 seconds. Sorcery Protect. If you or an allied Shikigami within 600 yards takes damage equal to 40% of your own HP within 5 seconds, a realm is summoned to protect your allied Shikigami. This has a 30-second cooldown, which is sped up when attacking enemy Shikigami. As we can see here, after taking damage, the talent is triggered and is shown as a protective dome for Yoku. This is a recommended talent for supports, as a protective shield is helpful in saving allied Shikigamis. And that's it for all the stats and talents you can use for the 9 Onmyodo slots. I hope you found this video helpful in learning about the different stats and effects of each Onmyodo. Stay tuned for our next video to learn more about Onmyodo suggestions for each Shikigami role. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed watching this video. Hope to see you again in our next episode. Thank you for watching!